Yeah, what can I do for you, Rod? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Yeah. I've been known to come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. I've been on the come up, counting money till my thumbs hurt. No Birdman, bitch, but I'm a stunner. Just watch how you run up. I keep a couple gunners. I've been grinding all winter just to flex all over summer shit. Wrist cold when I fall through. Rose go to my arm, boo. In and out of my city, but come whenever I call you. Who gon' love me more than when I'm stacking out on tour? Them hoes that made it past security, they knocking on my door. You gon' be there when they gone. Show my love by getting more. Hustle so you ain't alone. You won't leave me, that's for sure. I'm talking Benjis, Franklin's, all these hundos on my floor. I just broke a couple bands, believe me, I've been going hard. I'm tipping bottle after bottle, swerving model after model. Who won't cash? That's the motto. Spend it like I hit the lotto. Yeah, I'm loving my life. I know that I ain't shit without you. Actions speak louder than words. They broke cause they just talk about you, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. Money bag after money bag, I'm the man now. Play the cards that I was dealt and I ain't need no handouts. Fresh on every set, give respect, mama out of debt. I got a new connect, we the best, homie run the check. Wifey got a new bag, new house, you mad? We just doing us, feeling wavy, fuck a do-rag. This that no stress flow, bobbing on my ex. She don't love cash, kiss my ass, baby XO. Thank you for that line, Mr. West, but I'm next though. Hey, you me the set, bitch, I'm blessed, sipping XO. For the love of money, I stay fucking hungry. I parted ways with the kitchen, that just wasn't for me. Every show they love me, now I'm showing love back. They ain't taking nothing from me, so I throw a couple stacks. You when I'm in your town, have some fun, blow a bag. Fuck with me when I'm around, trust me, shorty, I'll be back. I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy.
Yay. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing, man? What's poppin', man? Happy Friday evening to all my people out there, all my alphas out there. Welcome to the Alphabets Football Show. I'm your host, Marcus the Alphabets, where we take you about a 2-hour-long journey to discuss our favorite sport in the whole wide world, which is football. That's goody. But first things first, I'd like to introduce my lovely co-host. I call her Miss Bruce Willis because she's diehard. Mona, what's good?
Oh, not a whole lot. I am trying to fix banners and stuff. I didn't know if I hadn't set it up.
Did you put the show in the group? I was looking in there. I didn't see it in there.
Yes, I just did. I just
okay. Okay. I was like, I just see it in there. Welcome to the show.
So you should have got a notification as well.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with me over here. Welcome to the show, everybody. Look, we're in week 4. We're already a month into the season. We're going into a month into the season. Some people's hopes and dreams are going up in smoke already. And, it's just so funny how, when you first start off the season, everybody has such high expectations. They got we're going to the Super Bowl. It's like, man, by week 3 or 4, you're like, yeah. So we're on the next year.
We might even make it to the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, and that's how quick it turns. Everybody, week 1, yeah, we're good. I look at our team. We have a great defense, and our quarterback, he's looking good.
But no matter what, injuries are a part of the game. It's next man up, and sometimes you are successful, sometimes you're not.
The injuries, and this is why I tell y'all, like, winning the Super Bowl is hard, man. It's real hard. That's why there's some teams out there that have never won, and that's the reason why some teams have never even been to the Super Bowl. So it's hard. You got to have a little bit of luck. Of course, you got to draft well and get a good coaching staff and find you a franchise quarterback, and maybe the schedule bounces your way, and then you got to remain fairly healthy, and then you got to catch fire. It's all a lot of stuff that goes into winning the Super Bowl, so that's it. And everybody starts off, 32 teams start off with the same goal. And then here you are a month into the season, you're 0-3. You ain't won a game. You wanted when that first game's okay. You're 1-3, 0-4, fighting, trying to, do something. So it's a little bit tough. So but we watch, because we love this game. So without further ado, let's get this party started. If you love football.
I'm kind of waiting for somebody to show up because I haven't seen anybody comment. So,
okay, yeah, I'm looking here. I don't see anybody in the chat, but yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. Mona, I hate to see injuries. I mean, we've seen a couple of injuries with quarterbacks and stuff. Like we saw Joe Burrow go down, and what Jaden.
I call him Joe Burrow, Mr. Plexiglass, because we got to start calling out some of these players who are always constantly hurt. Christian McCaffrey, the Bosa boys. Well, neither one of them have really stayed healthy.
No, they haven't.
I just, not that they're not great players when they're healthy, but you got to be able to stay healthy. Connor's been out. My boy Connor's been out. I hate that. I hate that he's out. He's had such a rough time of it his whole life, fighting the cancer and overcoming that. And now he's out for the season, and, he's not getting any younger. And these players, who we've come to love, but yet they're not able to stay in the game and stay healthy. Najee's been very durable. I don't think he's missed a game, the injury, and then he gets to LA and then tears his, what was his Achilles? I'm telling you right now, to me, every NFL football team should have to have grass field.
You've said that for years. You have said that for years.
Because I have said it over and over. The more you see this turf, we've got a high schooler here, Mike Compton, who played and has 4 Super Bowl rings with the Patriots, built a field, put turf on the Richlands High School football field, and they've lost 3 players since the season started already. And they just had their homecoming, and they usually have that early in the season. Lost 3 players due to Achilles tears and ACL tears, and that's what you see. Najee played for Alabama, grass field. Went to Pittsburgh, grass field. Practice games. Granted, they wear certain shoes for turf and certain shoes for grass field. Now he's out there in LA and he's playing on a turf field, and now he's out for the season.
Yeah, it was just really tough. It was really tough to see, and he's on a 1-year deal, so you're on a 1-year deal. It's going to take you a year to pretty much a year to come back from it. And then when you come back, you're not going to get big money because they're like, well, you're coming off the ACL tear. This is why these players, fight so hard for long-term deals, guaranteed.
The guy who rarely fumbles the football, and they drafted a kid who has fumbled twice now in games.
Yeah.
And Najee doesn't, but now Najee's hurt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Good luck with the rest of your season. That's all I'm going to tell the Chargers. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Yeah, it's just it's a tough situation, and like I said, my main thing for him is that you were on a 1-year deal, so you're not going to get big money because these teams are going to be like, well, the way they look at you is like you're damaged goods, So it's just, they're going to give you another probably 1-year deal, vet minimum deal because now you got a shredded knee, So it's very unfortunate. We wish him and a lot of these other guys speedy recovery, because I do enjoy his physicality and the way he plays, but let's Mona, let's get this party. So I don't see a lot of people here. That's cool.
I don't see anybody, so we'll just go with it, and they can go back and watch it if they want.
Yeah, y'all can watch it later because I ain't gonna be up till midnight.
Well, usually we are up till midnight.
Well, you're up to midnight. That's like for me. That's but yeah, we had a great weekend of football. Look,
we're gonna go ahead and do our recap of last.
Okay, let's do it. So we had the Dolphins and Bills.
This game, I thought the Bills would absolutely just run over top of them and kill them, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Miami played a hell of a game. I kind of felt like that. McDaniels done a hell of a job coaching against the Bills. I think that they stood a chance of winning, except for when you have your defensive player hit a kicker and cause that huge ass penalty, and then you have your quarterback throw an interception late in the game. That cost them the game. They were still in that game until he threw that interception.
Some of the stuff I saw Tua do, Mona.
I think he's gun shy.
He's running back. He's running backwards like 10 yards, and he's
gun shy. To me, when a quarterback gets gun shy of getting hit so much, we saw in the past how it's ruined quarterbacks with the Houston Texans. I can't think of his name.
A quarterback?
Yeah, who was the quarterback for the Texans? That?
Oh, you talking about David Carr?
David Carr.
For his
career, he was a hell of a quarterback. Never had any protection. He got beat the hell out of, and we're starting to see now. Back then you could actually sit your quarterback and let them progress slowly. Now you don't get that because you got quarterbacks coming out of the collegiate league into the NFL who are having to start and play right away, and they are getting sacked. And we have a slide on this. We will talk about it in a little. I think I added it.
Yeah, it's just and I think Mike McDaniel, just my opinion, he's more suited as an offensive coordinator. When I view him, I just don't view him as head coaching material. And they're probably going to have a fire sale over there. I think you'll probably see a guy like Tyreek Hill get moved.
If he is in the NFL, depending on
that too.
Field,
that too. Yeah,
Waddle, I could see Waddle, possibly trading it off.
They got a lot. Well, I think they'll keep one. I think because Waddle's younger, I think they would keep him. But I think Tyreek, he's 30, 31. I think Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, all of those guys.
They're not going to get out of Hill what they would get out of Waddle. Let's just keep it a buck because of his age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that they would keep Waddle,
I think they have to keep Hill and let Waddle go because they're liable to get maybe a first round pick for him.
I think the thing with it is like with Tyreek's making a lot of money, and I think they want that off their books. And then
Or did
I think a team like Kansas City would love. I think if he's available, I think Kansas City would love to get him back. They could use him right now. And I know they're getting back Rice and we're in week 4 and 3 games after this. Well, including this week, so they got a lot of.
He just got a 3-year contract extension with the Dolphins in May of 2024, worth $84.75 million, with $76 million was guaranteed.
Who's that? Waddle?
Yeah. And
that's not. Yeah, but look at Tyreek. That's what I'm saying. You want to get that big contract off of your books. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyreek's making like $30 million a year.
You're not going to get a first-round pick for Tyreek Hill. I don't think.
I don't need a first-round pick because we're going to be picking high anyway. We're going to be picking the way they're going. They might have a top. They're open.
Tyreek Hill restructured a 3-year, $90 million contract with the Dolphins agreed in August of 2024, which included $65 million in total guarantees and a $54 million guarantee at signing. With the initial deal was 4 years, $120 million contract signed in 2022. The 2024 restructure added no new years, but it shifted money and increased guarantees with $15.85 million option bonus for 2025. The deal maintains the $30 million average annual value, but gives the Dolphins more cap flexibility, setting up the potential team option or trade scenario at the 2026 season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To get him out, that his salary cap, and then you figure in his age, you figure in his and they've paid a lot of that guaranteed money. So as soon as they can get rid of him, they would get rid of him. And then you look at the off the field stuff. I think that they would love when they finally do start breaking that down, Mona. I think he's going to be the first one. Get him out of here because it's not worth the headache, But we'll see what happens. So real quick to some of the recaps. Look, Minnesota Vikings. They
trounced the Bengals. They de-striped them.
Yeah, they beat them up pretty bad. Didn't they, Blaze Thunder Gabbard? But by the way, appreciate your donation to the Marcus Betts Foundation. I really appreciate that. It had some nice wings courtesy of you, but thank you. Look, I've been saying this, Mona, we've been saying this. You cannot spend 45%
on one side of the ball. You can't do it.
On one side of the ball and on 3 players. So when one goes down, the Bengals are very top heavy. And this is what happens. You lose Joe Burrow, and then it's like those all-world wide receivers, it doesn't matter. You got a shaky offensive line. You already had a really bad defense, and now you're getting crappy quarterback play that you can't get, that you have a quarterback who can't get the ball to your all-world receivers. I've been saying this. I'm not telling you things that I think. I'm telling you things that I know. You can't spend spend all your money on one side of the ball. So we'll see. Texans 0-3. Look, I'm very disappointed with the Houston Texans.
Strauss don't look good. Strauss is, he's overthrowing, he's underthrowing.
Yeah.
He is not the quarterback that came into the league and shocked the damn league. Because now there's lots of video on him. There's lots of film, and teams can playing their defense around his offense.
Yeah, the thing with him, he's losing money because now, again, he's in year 3. This is year 3 for him. This is year 3. Next year, he's eligible for a contract extension. And let's not forget, Mona, he came in the same year. He went number 2 overall.
Yep.
And his teammate went number 3 overall, Will Anderson Jr. Right now, if you had your druthers, who are you paying?
I want Will Anderson Jr. I'm going to pay him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So he better fix it real quick because you got a bunch of money tied up over there, and the thing that's hurting them is the quarterback play. I think that defense is nice. You got Danielle Hunter and you got Stingley. He's one of the highest paid corners, and then you got Will Anderson Jr. A good young.
The defense is actually keeping them in games, but if your offense can't score, then you're not going to win games.
Exactly, and then now And then the other thing too, I think they really miss Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon does a lot of stuff in there. I know they got Nick Chubb is a shell of himself, and then they got Woody Marks. They drafted him.
You know what, Dwayne? I get you. Stroud doesn't have an O-line. What you expect? But you know what? In this day and age, quarterbacks are thrown to the wolves when they come into the league. I still say these run first offenses that they do in college is the biggest mistake that they could ever make with quarterbacks. Now, granted, college, they want to win games, and I get it, but when you got that big, strong quarterback who can actually stand in the pocket and throw the football down the field and doesn't have to worry about rushing because he's got an offensive line that will protect him. Let's not forget, Joe Burrow was a good, decent scrambling quarterback in college. But if they had solidified an offensive line for him, maybe he isn't missing as many games every year with injuries. Now, I get you. I know it's fast paced. You got to have a quarterback that can scramble and run and throw the football too. But you got to have that offensive line that can protect your damn quarterback. And if you're not spending money on that offensive line, and you got all your money on the damn defense like we do in Pittsburgh, or all your money on the offense like you do in Cincinnati, who doesn't spend all that money on the offensive line, they're spending all that money on two damn receivers and your quarterback. When you're paying that kind of money out and you're accepting that contract, well, maybe you're the problem. Maybe the quarterback's the problem for taking that big ass salary. Maybe
$55 million.
Yeah. So, and hey, you're getting what you deserve. You're getting what you deserve.
You better these young quarterbacks better start looking at how the way Tom Brady used to do, the way that Tom Brady used to do, the way Mahomes does. Even though he's having some difficulties over there, but we'll see what's up.
I don't think that as much that they don't have the money. They just are getting the right players for that offensive line. I mean, Taylor is the biggest waste they ever made. I would have got rid of him last year. He would not be on my team. I would have found some way to have found me a decent offensive lineman that's not going to false start every other play.
Yeah, he's really bad. He's not a very smart football player. Colts, they beat up on the Titans. Look,
better keep the Colts in your name. As long as they don't get injured, that team is going somewhere this year.
And this is an example. I say this all the time. Who you play with matters. We all talked about Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes back in the day. Oh, he's not a very good quarterback. We forget Daniel Jones was like the number 6 pick in the draft. He goes to the Giants, and you see all these players from the Giants, they leave the Giants, and then they go have success other places. So then you got to start looking at maybe it's that organization. Maybe it's that organization because they leave the Giants.
Look at the prime example, Houston Texans. They ruined David Carr's career because they didn't keep him on offensive line. They didn't give him no protection. He got the hell beat out of him. And right now, Stroud's getting the hell beat out of him.
Yeah. So, Daniel Jones is having success. So I'm happy for him. He wants to be known as Indiana Jones, no longer Danny Dimes. But, they're doing good things over there. And then, again, we talk about these quarterbacks that are getting beat up. Once again, Cam Ward, the number 1 pick from this current draft, he's getting the hell beat out of him. So it's this story that we keep seeing over and over. This movie we just keep seeing over and over. You have to, when you're constructing your roster, you have to start from the inside out. You got to build up both the offensive and defensive line to protect your quarterback, and then on the defensive line to protect your linebackers, where your linebackers aren't getting the hell beat out of them.
Not only that, Marcus.
Yeah.
You and I have discussed this. You have to build within your division. You have to be able to build a team that's going to beat the teams that you got to face 6 times in a season.
Yep. Totally. The Commanders, they get the win. Marcus Mariota, he starts for Jaden Daniels. I was surprised with this one here. And for them to hold it down there. And look, Geno Smith.
The Raiders are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
We had a little hope that they would do okay because I think everybody likes Crosby. I think everybody just, I feel bad for him that he plays for this freaking team.
Well, he decided to take that contract essentially. And I thought maybe he would get up out of there. I really thought maybe he would get. And here's another thing too. We talked about quarterbacks a little bit. We got to talk about running backs too. Genty was the first running back taken in this draft.
Yep.
He was number 6 overall. Do you know that this guy, he's averaging getting hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage? I don't care what running back that you are. Adrian Peterson, Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders.
Najee Harris in Pittsburgh.
When you're getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, because your offense, again, running backs are more where you need to kind of have your team kind of established, and then guys can shine a little bit more. Genty is getting hit at an average of 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting first contact there. That's not good. That's just not good. And maybe instead of drafting a running back at 6, as good as Genty is, maybe you want to either fix your offensive line or go get a quarterback. So look, they're gonna probably finish in the bottom of that division.
Rams game. I'm gonna tell you something.
Ooh, what a game! What a game!
In that game, I took the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I thought by halftime, holy crap, are the Eagles going to be able to pull this game off and win? The Rams defense is legit.
Yes.
They are legit. They got a decent offense. They kind of petered out in the second half of that game, and the Eagles defense kind of stepped it up, as well as the Eagles offense stepped it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, congrats to the Eagles. It was a well fought.
What a battle! I mean, that could go down real early as game of the year. Just an incredible back and forth. Matthew Stafford, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does. And here's another name that we got to start. You know, when we mention the elite wide receivers in the game,
yep.
You know, the Chases and the CDs and the Jettas, AJ Brown. When
yep.
he gets the ball in his hand, and I see sometimes, you know, he gets a little bit upset. He's a little volatile because they got a lot of mouths to feed over there. You got him, you got Slim Reaper, you got Saquon, you got Goddard. And then, you know, when all those fails, Hurts will take off on you. But when he gets the ball in his hand, I mean, this guy is a bully. I mean, he's just smacking guys around. You know, he's a big physical wide receiver. He's a problem. So, and then that final play, Jordan Davis to block the game-winning field goal. Because, I mean, if they make that field goal, they win.
And run it back for a touchdown.
And he ran 18 miles an hour, a 330-pound man. This is another thing that I tell y'all about. These players now are a problem. That's a 330-pound man outrunning everybody down the field. These players now are freaks. They're freaks. That's a 330-pound man outrunning everybody down the field. These aren't just big, slow, lumbering, clumsy dudes. And they're talking, the food that they eat. No, that guy, what is the food he eats have to talk about how fast he runs? That's 18 miles an hour. That's like running back type speed. So we got to get the big man in the game. Football is a big man's game, and that's another reason why. Because he plays tackle, and he plays tackle. This is why you want mobile quarterbacks now, because that's a 330-pound man coming after your quarterback. That's why this just standing in the pocket crap, that crap don't work no more. So this is just a teaching moment.
Well, it does if you have enough protection on the offensive line and they're doing their jobs and opening up holes for your running game and giving your quarterback protection to throw the ball down.
Mona, he plays next to Carter. You can't double team both of them. You got to decide which one. I mean, Carter's a problem, and then you got Davis, and they're sitting in the middle of your. Okay, so you got both of them, and you got to defend the middle of your, because they'll crash in on your pocket.
Yep.
When your quarterback is trying to step in to throw the ball. And then you got two guys screaming off the edge that you got to watch too. So it's like, what do you do? Because you can't double team everybody. So Eagles, great win. Atlanta Falcons.
I want to say one thing about this game.
Okay.
Nobody took the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
Nobody took the Carolina Panthers to beat the Falcons after the game that they played the week before. Nobody took Carolina. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Nobody took Carolina Panthers to win this game.
Michael Penix, I'm extremely disappointed with. And I'm going to say something right now. I'm going to call my shot. I like to call my shots a little bit early. Bijan Robinson, you may want to get up out of Atlanta, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he signs a fifth-year option.
I'm getting the hell out of Dodge because and it's not like they haven't spent draft capital trying to get Michael Penix. He don't seem to be the answer. You know, they were very high on him. You Michael Penix, first round pick. Drake London, first round pick. Kyle Pitts, first round pick. Bijan Robinson, first round pick. All of your skill position guys on the offense.
I never liked Michael Penix in college, so I'm just here to tell you when they got him in the draft, I was not sold on him.
Ooh, Dwayne said he did take Carolina. Okay.
Oh well.
Okay, I see you over there. Then you do that on prize picks over there, make you some money over there. The Brownies. Look, this was an upset. This right here, I had 30-something people in the Survivor League. Mona, I showed it to you.
Yeah, you showed me how many people got knocked out of the.
There's a lot of people mad. It's a $700 pot. Look, this right here. This is when we. This is another.
I picked the Packers. With a high score, 35-17, you said Packers. I said 31-18 Packers. There is no way that you might convince me they took Cleveland Browns except for Cleveland Brown homers.
and so a lot of people in my Survivor League, they're out the league now because they lost. And look, this just goes to show right now, right this moment. This moment and this changes. Myles Garrett is the best defensive player in the league right now. Right now, this week. Now it might change in a couple of weeks. What he's doing right now on that Cleveland defense is he is wrecking havoc. He's wrecking havoc. They had Jordan Love.
He ain't leading in sacks right now, so just so you know.
Well, I'm just saying what he's doing over there and the attention. I got film of him being triple teamed this past week, and they still couldn't stop him. He's a freak of nature. You can dislike people and not. I don't like him. I didn't like Lawrence Taylor, but on the football field, speaking specifically just on the field, Myles Garrett is a problem, and that Browns defense is a problem. So we'll see what happens. Mona, your Steelers, they get the win.
I waited last minute and I switched my picks and I took Pittsburgh.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Hit me up first thing in the morning on Sunday. Yes, we did.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think I changed somebody else. I think I took. I think I actually had picked Jacksonville to win, and I switched it last minute and took the freaking Texans.
Mm-hmm. You did. I mean, you hit me up on Sunday morning. You're like, I just got this feeling. And look. TJ Watt made some timely plays during that game.
No, that defense, man, defense had 5 turnovers in that game.
Yeah,
I mean, but you're playing against pretty much a rookie quarterback, and they got some pieces that they need to fill. But I think the Patriots are up and coming, I think that Drake May played a hell of a game in this game.
They got to get some weapons. They need some more weapons on the outside. I think that's the main thing. And Ramondre Stevenson, they need to get rid of his ass. This guy, he is a fumbler. The guy can't hold on to the ball, and I just, Drake May, he's
getting hit by defenses in college is not the same as getting hit by all world players defenses in the NFL. It's just
No doubt. No
game.
doubt.
Different game.
The Bucks, they get the win over the Jets. Look, the Jets, they're 0-3 too. You know, it's like
but now the Jets are also playing with a backup quarterback.
They are. Fields was
close 27-29. That's not. I still foresee the Jets once Fields comes back, if he comes back.
He had a concussion. He practiced all this week. He had a concussion. Tyrod Taylor started the game. You see some things over there. I think Aaron Glenn's going to get them together. But again, I think there may be like another draft away. They need to get another guy on the other side of Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver. They can't keep Breece and Braylon. I think one of them is going. They didn't extend Breece Hall. They got a good running game over there, and the defense is good too. But it's just, I think it's going to take some time for him really to get his program together. But then we got to also get Baker Mayfield props and Emeka Egbuka. He's a problem.
Yes,
he's a problem. Look,
I don't know how well he's going to do now that with Mike Evans out.
With him getting all of the
teams are going to double him now.
They are.
Goodwin was good. Look, Goodwin was okay for a while.
He's supposed to be back.
He's not the same receiver that he was.
Well, he didn't play. He's coming back.
Going to be the guy. He is going to be the Juju Smith-Schuster for Pittsburgh when we got rid of Antonio Brown. And that's what we got to see, what he's going to be able, if he's going to be able to handle being a number one now.
Yeah. Well, Godwin's coming back. And the thing with it is Mike Evans got a high ankle sprain. You just never know with high ankle sprains. You never know what that's going to be. But Baker Mayfield's playing good ball. And so they get the win there. Look, right now, today, and I'll change my mind next week depending on what happens this week. Right now, in my opinion, Justin Herbert's the MVP. Yes, I said it. Right now, the way that they're playing right now, they're running around, and Quentin Johnson can finally catch the football. They've been waiting for this guy.
I think a lot of the thing with Quentin Johnson was they didn't have enough weapons, and now that Harbaugh is taking over this team and constructing it the way he wants it, it's done nothing but make Justin Jefferson look like an absolute superstar.
Quentin Johnson.
Well, I'm talking about Justin Herbert too.
Justin Herbert, yeah.
Well, he's playing better ball. He's got more time to relax in the pocket. He's got weapons to throw the ball to, so he ain't having to try and win games on his own. Yeah. I love what I'm seeing out there. And he's the only Harbaugh NFL coach I like.
They're playing great ball over there. And then just the way that he's put together that team, they're very confident. And I mean, the Broncos gave them a fight. It's a divisional game. They're gonna have to see each other again, but good job there. Mac Jones, he covers down and gets the win. He's covering up for Purdy. Now Purdy's coming back this week, but Mac Jones, you're starting to see, again, guys that are put in a good situation, and he put some things around them. He had nothing over with the Patriots. He goes over there in that Shanahan offense, and he gets the win. Now they didn't. It wasn't a high scoring game, but Mac Jones, he does what Mac Jones does. He's gonna distribute the ball around. He's gonna get the ball in the hands of his playmakers. He's not gonna really make a lot of mistakes.
Evans does have a hamstring injury.
Who's that?
Evans has a hamstring injury, not a high ankle sprain.
Okay, yeah. So he's got a you're right. The because that's been his thing. He's had a hamstring.
I have a slide for that too.
Okay, yeah, it is hamstring. My bad. And then look, I think the Saints are going to have the number one overall pick. They're really bad.
They're going to have the number one overall pick. I don't know that they win a game this year.
They just might not. And then they play this week. They got to play the Bills this week. That's not going to be really. And look, the Seahawks are playing. They're playing good ball. Sam Darnold over there. They had a game last night on Thursday Night Football. that 1-2 punch. I think they have the second best 1-2 punch as far as running back. I think, of course, at one is Gibbs and Montgomery, but right after that, Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet, they both run angry. And Charbonnet didn't play in this game. He played last night and hit a touchdown, but they get the win there. The Cowboys just went, look, it was so embarrassing. Their secondary's terrible. They can't get any pressure on the quarterback. Dak is out there. Dak played very well. He threw a pick in a game that hit Pickens right in the hand. And
I was going to say, that was not that to me. That I know he gets the snack card, but that was Pickens. But that one-handed catch Pickens made in the end zone. I'm gonna tell you something. That kid, if y'all can get his attitude changed, if he can grow up, I think he can be one of the best receivers in the league.
Well, he's going to get his opportunity now because CeeDee Lamb is out with a high ankle sprain. So he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. We got a slide for that. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then, look, we kind of saw it was kind of a coming out party for Caleb Williams. He had a hell of a game. Rome Odunze had a hell of a game.
So, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Y'all lost that game because your fucking pass rush is horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible. Let's just keep it a buck. Y'all are missing Patterson's severely. Jerry Jones, I hope you go to bed at night and you freaking cry because you let Parsons out of your damn grasp.
Top three all-world edge rushers do not grow on trees. You cannot just get rid of guys like that. And I know that there was
look what Dwayne says. Holy shit. Can you imagine Alvin Kamara in Kansas City?
Look. I think over there, they're getting to the point, and look, we got a trade deadline coming up here in a couple. We're in week 4. I think it's in week 8 or week 9. So we're in the next few weeks, we're going to be coming up, and some of these teams that that are, pretty much giving up on the season, you're going to start seeing fire sales. I think you're going to see a fire sale with the Dolphins. I think you see fire sale with the Saints. I think you see a fire sale with maybe the Jets. You're going to start seeing teams just, look, we got to get some stuff and start thinking about the draft already. So we'll see what happens there.
The very first thing that the Kansas City Chiefs need to do, the very first thing is to get rid of Taylor and find somebody to bring in to replace him.
Anything's got to be better than Jawan Taylor. He's terrible. He's really terrible.
I could actually play better than Taylor.
He's terrible, and he makes a bunch of bonehead plays. But somebody I do want to give props to is Tyquan Thornton. This kid, he's caught a touchdown for 2 straight weeks. Bombs. They need somebody who can step up. You're missing Rice. You're missing Worthy. Worthy may play this week. They're saying he might play with a shoulder harness this week, but they need something over because they got a big game this week against the Ravens, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Whoever loses that game goes 1-3, and I mean that's a hell of a hole to dig out of. So we'll see what happens there. But that's all of your Sunday games. What we got next, Moment?
We have the Monday night game.
Look,
this was a hell of a game.
Another great game. We had some really good games this weekend. Look, again, I talked about it a little bit. That 1-2 punch of Gibbs and Montgomery, it drives teams crazy because it's like you're dealing with Gibbs' speed. This guy's maybe the fastest running back in the NFL. I mean, this guy gets the corner, maybe him or Achane. I mean, if they get to the second level of your defense, they're gone. But then after that, then you got to deal with Montgomery, who's beating you up, just beating you up. So, look, we saw last year, and people were bragging, oh, yeah, we beat them. Yes, because you were playing the Lions JV team. Yes, I said it. Last year when you were beating the Lions towards the end of the season, when they had how many people on IR? And for them to come back, I know they lost the season opener, but they're playing hella ball. They lost the opening game, and then they've won 2 straight. And then the Ravens, we keep seeing the same movie with them again. They come out, and then they somehow they find a way to lose the game. And Derrick Henry, I am a huge Derrick Henry fan, and I talked about this on Coffee Talk. But one oops can mess up a whole bunch of data boys. Right now, it's a mental thing with you. When you are carrying the ball, you are carrying. My football coach said this to me one time, and I had 2 fumbles in the game. He said, when you're carrying that football, you are carrying the hopes and dreams of everybody on this team. Derrick Henry, you've had a fumble in 3 straight games, and at the worst possible time, y'all should have beat the Bills. I'm sorry, I know Bills fans. I know y'all are happy about winning that game, and he knocked it out. And then on this week, Aiden Hutchinson came behind them and kind of peanut punched it out. You got to secure the ball, man. You cannot.
I also want to talk about something too.
What you got?
Defenses. That's what they aim for, to punch that ball out.
Yep.
We did it like 3 times against the Patriots.
Yep.
When they practice, that's what they practice, is punching the ball out every time. And when they see a running back with the ball, they are hitting him hard and punching that ball at the same time. And you're going to see more and more of these fumbles coming because that's what defenders are doing. That's how they're stopping it.
And not that. And here's the thing: when teams start seeing a certain weakness in you, everybody knows Derrick Henry. He's one of the most violent runners. He'll run you over. He's hard to bring down. Okay, that's fine. But now that we see that you're fumbling the ball, guess what? Every time people try to tackle him, that's what they're going to be doing. So he needs to get it in his mind that from here on out, people have seen that, and they're going to be going for that ball. Instead of trying to tackle you, they're going to be going for that ball. So he better fix that ASAP because they got a big game this week. And if he does that again, I'm sure Kansas City would love for him to do that. But great game.
Sure. And you better believe the Kansas City Chiefs defense have been watching film.
Damn straight. So
we're going to know we stopped the run by punching the ball out of his hands. We get the ball, run it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Listen, as much as I think right now the Baltimore Ravens on paper have one of the best teams in the league, you got to put it on the field. And if you can't put it on the field,
it don't matter. Yeah, we don't play. Yeah, on paper we don't play football on paper. They better get some things cleaned up real quick. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I've been saying this too, Dwayne. I feel like the Ravens defense is suspect. One of the best safeties in the league. Absolutely, I agree. But he cannot win games by himself.
I think the biggest thing with them is they don't have an elite edge rusher. They don't have a guy on defense that's like now.
They do not have
Kyle Van Noy. He's kind of been their guy, but I think the thing that's really missing from them, they miss a guy like T Sizzle, Suggs, got a guy like that on the edge. They don't have a guy over there that can win. Now they got good defensive tackles, but their edges aren't that good. So quarterbacks are getting a little bit more time to kind of sit there and pat the ball. And in today's game, if you let even an average quarterback, you saw Russell Wilson nearly threw for 500 yards from the Cowboys.
You cannot blame Lamar Jackson for this loss. Look, 288 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Yeah, cannot. Absolutely.
Got to get some support.
7 carries for 35 yards. Derrick Henry was 12 carries for 50 yards. 4.2 yards average.
But that fumble. That fumble
killed him.
Yeah. Gotta protect the football. So they got a big game coming up. So here's your 6. We got 6 undefeateds and 6 winless. So what we got there? Chargers, 49ers, Bills, Colts, Eagles, Bucks, and then we got the Dolphins, the Giants, the Jets, both the New York teams, really New Jersey, Saints, Texans, Titans. So look, we're one month into the season, and already you got the teams that are on the right. They're fighting, trying to get their first win. Yep. They're trying to get their first win. The Saints play the Bills this week, so I mean the task doesn't get any easier. Cam Ward, he's over there finding out
I am the Bills. By halftime, I've got all my backups playing.
Yeah. I mean,
You never know when you might lose one of your starters, and these backups have got to step in and get on some real time play.
Yeah. When you're able to, where it's still within the flow of the game, and you can get some of your backups, some real playing time. You want to try to do that. So, news and notes. What we got? Look, I just talked about this a little bit. This game, look, I don't like using the term, must win.
Dwayne. I don't feel like it is okay to throw the rookie quarterbacks to the wolves without further development. I don't. But I also understand what Mr. Betts has to say about it. You have to find out in 4 years whether or not they are going to be your franchise quarterback. You have to know if they're going to be able to play. Now, I still feel that first year on a team, you let them play behind a veteran quarterback. Regardless if you're going to win games, you got to let these guys learn the system because it's a different system in college as opposed to the NFL.
Yeah, and even your guy, Dwayne, Patrick Mahomes didn't come out and start immediately in Kansas City. He sat behind Alex Smith. So, I mean, the arguments you're making, you're kind of arguing against your own guy. Patrick Mahomes, and me and Dre talked about this on World Class Clinic.
I don't think Dwayne's arguing about his own guy. I think he believes they should be able to sit and develop.
That they should?
Yes, because Patrick Mahomes got to sit and develop.
Yeah, got to sit for a little bit, and then a guy like Jordan Love getting to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. You got to take you got to find that middle ground with them where, yes, we want to get them out there to play, but we also don't want to throw them out there and then their confidence is shaken. Quarterbacks are very fickle individuals. They, once their confidence is shaken, you're talking about guys that, I'm the number one pick, I'm the best player in this draft, and then you come out and then you lose 5 straight games. That is a hard thing for them to deal with. And then they have this clock in their head, and you're getting hit, and that clock starts speeding up. So you don't want to. You want to find that middle ground where they're developing, but they're not being pushed out there where they get hurt or they're
getting sacked as many times as he's been sacked already.
Yeah, Cam Ward's getting sacked on average 5.5 times a game. He took 11 sacks in 2 games. That's you can't, and that's sacks. That's not even including hits and pressures. So it's a tough business. So this game again, I don't want to say must win, things like that. But it's a must
win for both of them. I think it's a must win for both of them.
Whoever lose that game 1-3, that's what the Bengals are usually doing, and then you're fighting, trying to the rest of the season because you're behind the power curve. Brock Purdy, he practiced all this week. He should be back. Mac Jones held it down.
He will play.
Yes. So. Yeah, I'm saying he practiced this week. He will be back this week. Mac Jones held it down for him. So I know they're happy to have him back. Look, we already had our first benching. Look again. These first round quarterbacks, I keep saying this. They're not going to sit. When I spend a first round pick on you, I have to know if you can play. Well, we got this vet. You're not. They're gonna let the vet kind of come out there and play. But if the vet is struggling and making bonehead plays, you might as well put the rookie out there. At this stage right now, Russell Wilson's cooked. He's cooked. So what do? You got this kid, and they said this ain't temporary. This ain't, he's going to start this week. Jackson Dart is our starting quarterback going forward for the rest of the season. That's what Brian Dable said, because he's on the hot seat. Yeah. He's on the hot seat. So, and then you heard if you were watching the game this past week, every time Russell Wilson did something dumb, the whole stadium, we want Dart. We want Dart. That's what they were saying. So it's just a matter of time. This ain't the old days where these kids get to sit for 3-4 years. They want to know if this kid can play. He's got a lot of moxie. Played at Ole Miss, pretty good. They got weapons over there. They want to start getting some rapport between him and Malik Neighbors. They got a pretty damn good defensive line. So throw the kid out there, let the kids play. So we'll see what Jackson Dart can do. So Russell Wilson's days of start might be over. They might be over because you got ran out of Pittsburgh. You got ran out of Denver. You got ran out of Seattle. That might be it for you as far as a starter in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. What we got next?
Let's see here. There you go.
We want Dart. We want Dart. And here's look again. Kirk Cousins is a pretty damn good quarterback, and the original plan was for him to be their starter, and he was struggling. I think some of it was, he tore his ACL in Minnesota before he came over, and I think when he got there, and I don't think that they thought Michael Penix would be there. So Michael Penix was still there at 8. I don't think that they thought he would be there, and when he was there, they're like, okay, well, let's just grab him. Well, you just paid Kirk Cousins all this money, but he's struggling. This kid is struggling. Kirk Cousins, whatever you may think about him, he's got a lot of experience. He's won a lot of games in the regular season, not so much in the postseason. And look, these coaches, they're gonna try to save their own skin when they start seeing kids. These kids can't play or they're struggling. If I lose 3 or 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row, that's my ass on the line. Yep. So it's like, look, we're still paying Kirk Cousins, get him out there. Maybe he can save this because they got talent over there. They've got, you got Bijan, you got Drake London, you got Pitts, you got Mooney. Put them out there because there's no way they should not have lost to the Panthers. That's the kind of losses like that as a coach, that'll get you fired. So you see he benched him real quick. Now we're going to see, because this was in the middle of the game. He hasn't made an announcement as far as who's going to play, but you see now they'll pull that cord real quick when they feel like, my job is on the line. If this guy keeps losing, we'll make a change. So we'll see what happens. Mona, what do you think?
I agree 100%. You can take your chances with your quarterbacks, and it's not that when they bench them they're a bad quarterback, but I also think it does a psyche to their it does something to their psyche when they do get benched. That's why I agree with Dwayne. I do not think rookies should be just thrown under the bus and thrown into the game. But that being said, I understand where you're coming from on that same conversation. You have to find out what they're going to do. Are they going to be the future of that franchise? So,
yeah. And then you're still paying Kirk Cousins too. So we'll see. Look, right. Nick Bosa, he's out for the year. Look, these Bosa boys, they seem to have issues with staying healthy, and he's one of the higher paid edge rushers, I don't know if he's in that level.
The biggest thing is they played lights out in college.
Yeah.
They put their bodies on the line, and they've tried to do the same thing when they come into the NFL, and they started showing that, when you play like that and you play lights out, sadly, it does a number on your body.
So, they've lost him for the year. I don't know what they're 3-0 though. So, I mean, they got some people that they like in the wings back there. So we'll see what happens. A speedy recovery to him. I don't really like him personally, but I don't wish injury on anybody. Another guy that I really like. I do now. This is a guy I do like. Mona, you know a lot about this guy with him playing with your Steelers, but he's out for the year. He suffered a foot injury. At first they say it was a ankle injury, but then they say it was some type of foot injury. But look, this is the nature of the business. We don't wish injury on anybody, but unfortunately, in this game, you do have injuries. Now, they drafted a kid a couple of years ago, Trey Benson out of Florida State. He was on that undefeated Florida State team that didn't get to go to the playoffs that everybody was upset about. And I think Alabama got to go. I think they won. But Florida State they didn't get to go. This kid Trey Benson, he has some talent. He didn't really do much last night. He played last night. He didn't do much, but they're going to miss this guy. He runs a very physical style of play. He's a good team leader. The guy has overcome a lot. He's very mentally and physically tough dude. So we wish him a speedy recovery. I've always liked James Conner. So we wish him a speedy recovery over there. So
yep.
We'll see what happens. Another guy, Mona, another guy that you're very familiar with, Najee Harris. He went down. It was just a freaky, fluky injury, and he's had some, he nearly lost his eye on the 4th of July. Then he has this happen. I just hope that he gets well, and I hope that somebody gives him a shot next year somewhere. I don't think he'll be back with the Chargers. They just drafted Hampton, but I hope he gets somewhere.
It depends on whether or not Hampton can figure out how to hold on to the ball. Because that's one thing Harbaugh will not put up with is him fumbling the football, and he's done fumbled twice. Yeah. And that is not something that Najee has a problem with.
That'll get you put on the bench
early, and some of them will start falling off during the second half of the season. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. So, again, another guy, just a good dude. He's a hard dude to root against. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery too. We see him back somewhere next year doing what he does. So we'll see what happens.
Somebody's going to pick this kid up. Somebody's going to pick him up. If he's not with the Chargers, he will be with somebody.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who you are on a turf field is one thing, but a team who has grass like Pittsburgh, look, somebody's going to sign this guy. He is a hell of a running back. I did notice it looked like he had lost a little bit more weight, put on a little bit more muscle. I love his exercise routine. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And he works hard. He works hard, and he stayed healthy for the first 4 years with a horrible offensive line and piss-ass quarterback play, but he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
And over
just a fluky
season. So
a very fluky injury, just fluky. I mean, the guy has been very durable, but hopefully, he gets a speedy recovery. CeeDee Lamb, like I said, high ankle sprain. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. Look. Dallas, don't have CeeDee Lamb running the ball. How about that? Now, before, whenever Zeke was struggling and, Pollard had left and you were trying to get your run game, Javonte Williams is playing very well. He's playing very well. I think he's averaging like 6-7 yards a carry. Do not put your third highest paid wide receiver and have him running the football. Just don't do it. You don't need to. He's one of the best route runners in the game. I don't want to see CeeDee Lamb running the football. I want to see him running routes and shaking people out of their shoes. So he's out. I don't know if you got the other slide. Their first round pick, Tyler Booker, he's out.
Dwayne Najee has a torn Achilles.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Yeah. So speedy recovery to CeeDee Lamb. This guy got 80 snaps. That's too much. This is too much. It's not sustainable. I know they're trying to do something. I know he's trying to make history. That's way too many snaps. Most football players, they average around like 50 snaps. If you're a starter, you're doing 80 snaps. That's too much. Now, I know you're young. He's probably 22, 23 years old. I promise you, by the time you're 27, 28, you ain't going to be doing that. And you're just wearing out your body. So, look, I understand, he goes both ways. He plays corner, he plays wide receiver. What I would like to see him do is focus and just really focus on one position. Now, maybe, you know, at receiver, maybe they let him, you know, return kicks. He was pretty good at that too. But as far as you're out there running routes, and then in the next play you're covering Jamar Chase, I just think that's a terrible idea. But hey, do your thing. Do your thing. Terrible idea. Look, Daniel Jones already made $300K in bonuses, and probably because they're like, you're not even gonna play. So he's out there, he's doing his thing, and it's just. You like to see guys have success. He's never been a bad dude, you know, and our opinion of him is starting to change because he's in a good situation. Who you play with matters. Where you know,
he's actually looking like a NFL quarterback. I mean, his passing has just been on.
And he was, and he's always been a pretty good runner. You know, except that one time he was running and he got caught by the turf monster, just tripped when he was running down the field wide open. But look, I like to see guys have redemption. You know, $300K, that's pretty. And it's only week 3. You already made your bonuses, so congratulations to Daniel Jones. Make that money. Yep. Make that money. Make that money. You know, and we talked about this a little bit. Both CD and Booker, their first round pick, number 12 overall. Both high ankle sprains. So it's just one of those things, you know, it's just fluky. It happens in football, you know. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. Pass through this because I want to research this. I want to research that. I don't want to put out bad information. Just go past that because I'm gonna go back and check that out. Mike Evans, he's out, you know, hamstring, 7 consecutive seasons with a hamstring injury. And look, he's in danger. You know, I think he's tied with Jerry Rice, and he can break Jerry Rice's most
consecutive seasons with 1,000 yards catching, though.
Yeah.
Even with the hamstring injuries.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher now because now he's competing for targets with this kid, Abuka.
Oh, well, you know, look, Mike has been the number 1 receiver for quite a few years.
Yes.
As you get older, you realize that the young dude, the young cat coming up out of college is going to probably take your job. Doesn't mean he ain't going to be a great number 2.
Yeah, and that's good for him, you know, where he has a guy who can kind of come in there and kind of take the load off of him. Because I mean, this guy before, you know, he's getting just a lot of and then, you know, he even played with Antonio Brown for that year that they won the Super Bowl. It was Godwin and him and Gronk. And he was doing all that with those guys. You know, he had 1,000 yards with those guys on the field. So look, I enjoy Mike Evans. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. So we'll see. Speedy recovery to him. He's saying he's going to try to play this week. I hope he does, and I hope he sits out. And because hamstring, that's one of those things. If you go out there too early trying to come back from a hamstring, one, you can either tear it, or 2, because you're trying to compensate for it. Now you might get a Achilles or, you know, a knee injury. So hopefully I hope he sits out this week. Like Meek Mill says, there's levels to this. Everything you do, there's levels to it. Here's the standings right here. Bills, they're over there. They're doing what they do. They own that division over there. 3-0 over there. Y'all get mad when I say this, cupcake division. I don't know why y'all get mad when I say that, when I got the evidence right here. Just like we all expected, Indiana, the Indianapolis Colts to be on top of that division.
Nobody expected that.
Nobody. Houston better get it fixed.
And I will tell you something right now. AFC North, man. You know, since he's 2-1, but they're not going to be that for a while. They're not going to be up there. They're going to be slipping down that list.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a marathon. You know, you come out there 2-0, and then they get the brakes beat off of them by the Vikings, and Burrow ain't coming back till December, maybe 3 months. That's 12 weeks. That's like week 13, week 14. I mean, well, he played the first 2 games, right? They were 2-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're talking about week 14, maybe. That's like when they say 3 months, you know, 12 weeks. That's if everything goes right and he doesn't have any, you know, slip ups, you know. So that's going to be competitive over there. You see what that Browns defense can do. The Baltimore Ravens very well could be 1-3 this week, which will put them in a further hole. Pittsburgh, they're looking good over there.
Play Minnesota in Dublin, so
yeah, so that's right. By the way, they're starting to oversee games. When y'all are doing y'all's picks, if you're the kind of person that likes to sleep in, you might want to do your picks on Saturday.
I like what I saw with Derek Harmon. I thought what he did was freaking amazing.
That's your Cam Hayward long-term replacement, in my opinion. He's
with Jabril Peppers. Listen, this team, the defense is starting to fire on all cylinders. Now, granted, we just played the Patriots. I understand this, but you can only play
who's on the schedule. You got to play who's on the schedule. That's all we can do.
Do I think we can win that game? Absolutely. I think we can absolutely win that game. But
no doubt.
One thing I will say is the Vikings defense is legit too.
No doubt. Over in the AFC West, I said this. We did it. I got it on wax. I tell y'all stuff. I'm like, oh, you didn't say that. Look, all of these shows are on YouTube that you can go back and watch. I said even before the injuries, and I understand they're having injuries over there. Rice is suspended. Worthy's hurt. That this would be the most difficult path that the Chiefs would have to take because everybody got better. Everybody. Every team in your division got better. They got better at coaching.
I feel that they can jump up to the number 2 spot. I just don't know that they will this weekend. I am actually, because it's in Kansas City, I'm actually taking the Chiefs over the Ravens.
Okay. We'll get to that on our picks, though. But like I said, look, the Chargers, they look really good. They look really good. I'm very impressed with them. Philly doing what they do. They've had a couple of close calls, but they do what champions do. They find a way to win. We can beat you whatever way. We can win this game whatever way you need to. We can play power smash mouth football. Barkley's not having that great of a year so far this year. He's not having those 175-yard games, 200-yard games.
But they lost their better hands.
Yeah, but the Eagles, they just find ways to win. Special teams, defense, whatever it takes. Then the offense comes alive. AJ Brown, has a great game. So,
and Baker Mayfield is questionable for this weekend. He may not be playing this weekend, but they're 3-0 right now. So
we'll see. NFC South's a terrible division. And when I say that, everybody gets mad over there when I'm like, it's a terrible division. AFC South, NFC South are terrible divisions. Up in the north, look, Green Bay, they had a slight setback. I think they got caught slipping. Looking past the Browns. That's not to diminish what the Browns did. The Browns played a hell of a game, but I really do. I think the Packers were looking for the Cowboys game. So look, a very competitive division. 2-1. Chicago could be up there. They're getting there.
NFC North could actually send 3 teams to the damn playoffs.
They just might. I think they did They did it last year too. They did it. Then in the West, look, the very competitive. 3-0. Brock Purdy's back for the 49ers. Look, Arizona could have won.
I think Arizona kind of goes downhill now for a while with some of the injuries they've suffered. Mm-hmm. I think I could see them slipping down. I could see the Rams jumping way up.
Rams had the Eagles. They couldn't close the show. Look, sometimes a team just has your number. The Eagles are the ones that put them out of the playoffs. They were kicking the Eagles' ass in the playoffs last year.
The best team in the NFC West. I'm going to say that now. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC West.
And they just might be. They had the Eagles. They were beating them in the playoffs, and then it started snowing, and then that's when Saquon Barkley went off. So they had them in this game. They might see each other again down the road. But I like the Rams. I like what they're doing over there. They got a nice run game. Puka and Devontae Adams and Matthew Stafford.
They need to draft a quarterback for Matthew Stafford to bring along. And I really hope they would do that this year. I really hope they would.
Yeah, I thought so too. Shedeur Sanders. I thought Shedeur Sanders would have been great. I wasn't going to say
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe in Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he'll be an NFL quarterback for maybe 5-6 years, and that'll be it. He'll be out.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, we'll see what happens. He's not even getting practice reps. I try to find their actual ones because
this is the same guy that you sent to me last week. You wouldn't take Bucky's that I showed you, and you I went and got this guy.
Yeah, he's a little biased, but look. Some of this stuff they have here. Look, I know I have certain people that when I'm doing coffee talk, the Buffalo Bills are number one team. No, they're not. Until right now, you have the defending, reigning Super Bowl champions who are undefeated and found ways to win. Okay, they're undefeated. They're 3-0. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Until the next Super Bowl, right now, the reigning defending champions are the Philadelphia Eagles. That's just what it is. You can argue with your mama about that. But the Bills, if they want to put them at number 2, I don't have. And look, we got a lot of football left to play. I like the Chargers there at 3. Lions don't have a problem with. I think that's too damn high for the Chiefs. The Chiefs at 5. Really?
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I think the Bucs should be above them.
And you can move the Ravens out of there too. You can move the Ravens up out of there too.
And the Packers lose to the Browns. I don't know.
Is this the same? Is this the one from this week or is this from last week? This looks like the same one from last week.
I know it's not either.
Okay, because there ain't no damn way that the 1 and 2 Chiefs should be at 5. I think this is from last week.
Well, moved down 3. So it's not.
No. Okay. Well,
week 4 power rate right there at the top.
Wow, this is terrible. What's his name? Ralph Vacciano. This is the last time you'll have your rank. There ain't no damn way that the Chiefs should be at 5. You're an idiot. How about that? There's no way. There's no way you can have the Chiefs at 5.
It's because they moved up 1. Bucks moved up 1. They both had wins, and then Baltimore slipped down 3 because they're 1 and 2 right now. They've got 1 win.
How are you at 5 and you're 1 and 2? That's terrible.
The Packers fell down to 5. Fell down 5 for week 4.
And they still have a winning record. They're 2. How are you in the top 5 and you're 1 and 2? That's terrible. That is terrible. No, it's not you, Mona. That's terrible. You're a terrible sports writer.
I went with him because that's who you sent me last week to do last week's show. So
that is terrible. That's terrible. I don't even want to look at that's terrible. So here's your leader. That is terrible. I wish I could talk to that guy. Dude, you are terrible. Justin Herbert leading the league in right now, today. And I'm not saying 2 weeks from now. Ask me again in 2 weeks, and I might have another answer for you. Right now, today, in my opinion, Justin Herbert's the MVP. And it's very hard to win back-to-back MVPs, by the way. You don't really see guys that are back-to-back. I think maybe Favre did it. Maybe Rodgers did it, but that's really hard to do. Geno Smith, who would have thought that? Daniel Jones, resurgence with the Colts. Dak Prescott, he's having to do a lot of it because their defense is so bad, so he gets in the shootouts. And then Drake May. Puka Nacua leading things over. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he had some timely catches last night. He's emerging as one of the best young receivers in the league. Ricky Pearsall, he's taking that role as the number 1 for San Francisco. Ayuk, they don't know when the hell he's coming back. They're like they said week 7 he tore his ACL last year, and they're like he ain't close to returning. So Ricky Pearsall, he's kind of taking over that number 1 role. Malik Neighbors, this is why he went so high in the draft. he just needs a quarterback who can consistently get him the ball because he's a problem. Jamar Chase, even without Burrow, he's still in the top 5. Jonathan Taylor, we talked about him a little bit. A few years ago, there were some people that thought he was the best running back in the league. He's got a competent quarterback play now where they can't just stack the box against him. James Cook, one of the best dual threat running backs in the game. He's doing his thing. Travis Etienne, look, he was in the same. Wasn't he in the same draft class with Najee?
Yep.
He was in the same draft class with Najee. They thought he was done, and he's emerged. They got rid of Tank.
Well, he had the ACL tear his rookie year.
That's right. Derrick Henry still. He could have had a lot more. But he fumbled the ball. You're running down the field wide open and fumble the damn ball when you get in a little bit of traffic. And then Robinson, Bijan. I think Bijan's the best running back in the league. I just do. I just think what he does, but I just think he's going to have to get the hell out of Atlanta because I don't think he's going to reach his full potential until he gets the hell out of Atlanta. So, and then because my lovely co-host is such a defensive connoisseur.
Kind of gal.
Yeah. So here's your top 5 in sacks. Rashawn Gary. Micah Parsons opens up things for other players. You're going to see this guy probably be a double-digit sack type guy because Micah Parsons brings so much heat. That they have to double team him. So that leaves this guy to do his thing on the other side. Brian Burns, same thing. You got Abdul Carter on one side. So that allows him to do some things. And then Myles Garrett, I don't know who the hell's on the other side of him. That's why I say right now, today, and we'll see. It's a long season. I would say he's probably the defensive player of the year right now. We'll see. It's week 4. And then Byron Young on that. Another guy who benefits from having a guy like Jared Verse who gets a lot of attention. So a lot of these guys, I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm just saying that they benefit from having a guy on the other side of them who commands a lot of attention. So we'll see what happens. What we got next? Byron Young.
I had to add this because I think what Derek Harmon did in this game was amazing. He was on a limited snap count. He had a sack. He had 3 pressures. He limited the run game to 2.2 yards per carry when he was in the game. This guy is a run stopper, and unlike you, he is Cam Hayward's replacement.
Yes, that's his long-term replacement.
And he's only 21 years old. Mm-hmm. So,
got this guy from Oregon. I watched him play and look, he started. I think he started at Ohio State. And if you look. A lot of the players that they got are Jack Sawyer, this guy, Ohio State guys they draft guys for that type of environment. Your first order of business when you're drafting is to draft players that are going to have to compete in the with outdoor cold weather teams, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland. You got to get guys like this. Guy played at Ohio State. Go get this guy. So outstanding performance for the kid. I think he's only going to get better. He has a mentor in a Cam Hayward who can show him the ropes. And I think this kid, he's off to a great start. So congratulations to him. Look, I just mentioned this. Players nowadays, I argue with people about this. This guy from this era, when I say from this era, this is a 330-pound man. He's not a obese, slow guy. This guy is a problem. This is a guy who generally gets double teams, and he plays next to Jalen Carter, and he outran everybody down the field after he blocked the field goal. That is freakish athleticism. Freakish. A 330-pound man moving like that. Yep. So this is what I talk about when I say this guy could have played his. No, look. He was great for his era. Then that's great. These guys now that are playing now, they are, this guy couldn't have lasted back then. These players now, they're basically playing with their arms tied behind their back. If they were allowed to be and play the style of football they played in the 70s and 80s, they would kill someone. If you allowed TJ Watt to just scream off the edge and hit a quarterback as hard as he could, and it's not a penalty. So when I hear people say he couldn't have played back then, this is a 330-pound man. If you put this man in the 70s against a 230-pound offensive lineman, he would kill him. This is why I use things like this as teaching moments. Players now are bigger, faster, stronger. This guy here outran running backs down the field, and he's 330 pounds. So we talk about errors, and yes, errors, but we also talk about rules. If you move this guy to the 70s or 80s,
The one thing I will say,
yes,
I watched an interview with a lot of defensive players
Yes.
back in the 70s.
yes,
When they were in college, they didn't get to eat all the food like college kids today do. They didn't have the exercise equipment, the machines. They didn't
Gotcha.
have all that
that has
stuff.
nothing to do with a 330-pound man running 18 miles an hour. That has nothing to do with that. For him to move like that,
We don't know that because we didn't get to see those guys beat 300.
the same advantage, Mona, the same advantage that players from the 70s had over 50s players that played in the 50s, because, they've been playing football for a long time. The same advantage that
I agree with what you say. Eras matter
yes.
because back in them days, these kids who were in college playing
Yes.
football, some were drafted right out of high school. Those kids did not have the type of food and what we see today's kids. And like I look at the high school players today. Lakers high school players today, twice as big. Heath Miller, twice as big as what the guys who played when my brother played football. 20 years difference.
Yes.
These guys, Heath Miller, raised on a farm, ate good, big guy, played quarterback, Poplar quarterback, JV, high school quarterback, went to
That's true.
college.
Yes.
And
But you also had big guys back then. Mean Joe Green was what, 6'7", 280?
You did
So
have-
we had big guys back then too. There were
Yes.
big guys back there too. A guy like Merlin Olsen was a big guy.
Yeah.
So just to say, well, this guy, he didn't have, there were big guys back then too. Wilt Chamberlain, I sent you that picture of Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain played in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So to say, well, this guy here, Wilt Chamberlain played in the 70s. So you always, in every era, you have guys that are freaks of nature.
I
So
agree.
this is, there's guys that are just different cats. And here's one right now from now, because you got a guy like him, and then you got that kid, Desmond Watson, who's 464 pounds, who can't bend over and tie his shoes.
Right.
And he has all the modern medicine too. He's just morbidly obese, but this guy's 330 and he's outrunning people. So this is what I try to tell y'all about. Like, these human beings are just different now. And 20 years from now, guess what? 20 years from now, 20, 30 years from now, there'll be guys bigger than him and faster than him. It's called evolution. That's evolution. So that was awesome. Very impressive to see what he did. What we got next?
Okay. We have our Rocky Blyer Tough Guy Awards. Players of the Week. For each week, we try to do those. We got our Defensive Players of the Week first for week 3. And we have Derwin James Jr. 12 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack. And with the Chargers. And then we have Isaiah Rodgers with the Minnesota Vikings, 2 forced fumbles, 87-yard interception touchdown return, and then a 66-yard fumble touchdown return.
Yeah, he ruined Jake Browning. He ruined Jake Browning. This guy, he ruined Jake Browning. He did some really bad things to Jake Browning last week. Thank you for the $50, Blaze. Appreciate you.
All right, so our offensive players of the week for week 3, we have Jonathan Taylor. Good to see him out there doing what he can do. He's got a quarterback. He's got a decent offensive line that opens holes up for him. They can't stack the box and stop Jonathan Taylor now because huh, Indiana Jones is out there.
Hat and whip and everything.
102 rushing yards, 16 receiving yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. That's pretty awesome. And then we have our NFC Offensive Player of the Week, Caleb Williams, with a 67.9 completion percentage rate, 298 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, with a 142.6 passer rating. So he
Cowboys
makes
defense.
the Cowboys look like a Pop Warner football team.
Yeah, he did. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of fantasy football advice. Y'all ready? Any quarterback that plays against the Dallas defense, start them, and you'll get a lot of fantasy points. Okay, there's your free fantasy football advice for the week from the Alphabets Football Show. What we got next?
And then we have our special teams players. Special teams players of the week for week 3. We have Andre Schmidt with the Browns.
Like that.
2 for 2 on field goals, 55-yard game-winning field goal, 7 points, beat the Green Bay Packers. Okay, and then we have Jordan Davis. We just saw a slide of him. Blocked field goal. Blocked
return
attempt. 61-yard blocked field goal return for a touchdown. So
I've never seen that. I've never seen a defensive tackle block it. I've seen them block it and somebody else kind of pick it. He blocked it and then he picked it up and outran it. I've never seen that. I've watched football nearly my entire life. I've never seen anything like that. It's one of the most incredible plays I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
One of the most incredible. That just incredible.
The highlight is worth going and looking it up and watching it. It really is.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a few did you knows. And here we go with King Henry. Not so much a king anymore. I think they've taken his crown a little bit, but he's still doing his job, but he's costing games because he's losing these footballs in crucial crunch time parts of the game. I think that he played so lights out last year, but I think he did a number on his body last year as well. And for
you think it's his body? You think it's his body?
I think it's his body letting him down. He's what, 31 now?
For me, I think this is a mental thing because it's all you got to go back. Go ahead.
A mental thing, but honestly, I think that the way he was able to play last year for the Baltimore. Listen, as much as I know you love Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry won a lot of games for them last year. Running the football, just crushing defenses. I know what he did to my Steelers, okay? I'm just here to say he played so lights out last year. I think he did a number to his body. I think he was probably soaking in ice buckets the whole offseason trying to get rid of bangs and bruises and what have you. I think his upper body strength doesn't look like it has always looked.
Okay.
And you got to have great arms, which he still has chiseled, nice looking body. Don't get me wrong, because I just think he's hot as hell. But I think his arms look smaller this year. And that happens the older you get. Don't care who you are. That happens the older you get. Speaking of somebody who played sports all her life, you cannot even look at my legs and say, wow, what happened compared to the legs you had 20 years ago? Because, I mean, there were nothing but muscle. Calves, thighs, muscle. Okay? Now I got chicken legs. Now, I've had a lot of health issues, but the older you get, the harder it is to keep that muscle on you. And I think that's part of his problem.
I think with him is like it's like a player who's
loses his confidence.
Who's you're playing shortstop and you keep bobbling the ball. You keep missing like little grounders. I think this is a thing he's going to have to go back, and they're going to be like, you're going to carry this ball to all around the facility the entire week. I think it's a concentration thing for him, because he's still running the ball great. Hell, he had 150 yards on the Bills. He was running up and down. The first quarter he was averaging 16 yards a carry. That's not out of shape. It's just, but then he cost them at the end. I think now he's going to have to go back to the basics. Sometimes people, they get away from, they start, as running backs, we're taught to carry it high and tight. I see him kind of dragging it low. And then again, when people see you and then you have success, oh, he likes to carry the ball low. Great. You guys, when y'all play against Derrick Henry, punch the ball out. I think it's a concentration issue for him. But he better get it fixed ASAP, because he cost him in the Buffalo game. I believe look, it's a team sport. I get it. But he cost them, because if he doesn't fumble that and they go in and they score, they're up 22 points with 7 minutes left in the game. Buffalo's not coming back from that. So he's got to tighten it up. He's got to tighten it up. Because this is, and he's on the sideline throwing Gatorade containers and stuff. Like, bro, you're and Lamar's being a really good sport about it, because after a while, it's like, dude, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I'm going to take it off. When we run these RPOs, instead of handing it to you, I'm going to take it myself. So we'll see what happens with it. Hopefully he,
against the Detroit Lions defense, he didn't do that good. He only had 50 yards rushing against that damn Lions defense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a hell of a defense.
And a fumble.
Yeah, you got to hold on to the ball. Like, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, John, I keep saying Jim, I'm going to start giving Justice Hill some run, or Keaton Mitchell, because I can't keep having you do that in crucial moments in the game. And he's doing it in crucial moments in the game,
No, but I think I would put some of these guys in there too, just to give him some breathers, get him some try to keep him healthy through the long stretch.
Yeah, for the play, because you're going to need him in the playoffs to go where you want to go. AFC Championship, Super Bowl. You're going to need this guy. You're going to need him. I probably would cut down some of his carries, because I'm like, I'm going to try to. He's 31, I think.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of carries, like you said, last year, Mona. So we'll see what happens with him. We'll see what happens.
Let's see. And by playoff time, he'll be 32.
Yeah. I'm probably cutting down some of his.
Okay, so the 49ers, the only team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown.
It's not good.
What's going on with McCaffrey? Well, can't stay healthy, right?
Yep.
So he's kind of reverting back to what he was, because they don't have all the weapons that they had for Purdy coming in.
Want to pay Purdy $53 million a year? Want to play Purdy? I kept asking y'all. You want to pay Purdy $53 million a year? And I understand y'all are they're undefeated. They're 3-0, but that's not sustainable. That right there, no rush. 31 teams, all 32 teams, and you're only one out of 32 teams that doesn't have a rushing touchdown. We're a month into the season. Well, this will be a month, but that's not good. So we'll see.
All right, so our week 4 games and our predictions.
All right.
We will talk about the Thursday night game last night.
Look, Sam Darnold had a great game.
Arizona had this game, though.
They did. Thing I saw, Mona, I don't know if you saw this too. Marvin Harrison Jr. We just talked about Derrick Henry with his confidence. This kid, he's ultra talented. And it seems like sometimes he checks out of games and he kind of has this – he's not like his daddy. And see, that's the thing about it. Sometimes, his dad, Marvin Harrison, was awesome. I think he's one of the greatest wide receivers ever played.
His dad also had a hell of a freaking quarterback, too.
He did.
That shit.
He did.
I have never been sold on
Kyler. On Kyler.
No. Arizona's quarterback. What the hell is his name?
Kyler. I just said Kyler.
Oh, Kyler. I thought you said Tyler.
Yeah, Kyler.
Yeah. I've never been sold on him. You were when he came into the league.
I just said he had one deficiency, and you saw it kind of last night because there were a lot of balls that getting batted down. This is why, again, when I tell y'all stuff, I'm not telling you things that
He's not as tall.
There's a reason that they want quarterbacks to be 6'4", 6'5", so you can look over because you're trying to throw the ball over 6'4", 6'5". Defensive line and your offensive linemen who are 6'4", 6'5", defensive linemen who are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and then they put their arms up.
When you have a tight end who's, Darnell Washington,
6'8".
I want you to look it up. You got to go look it up. Watch him throw the football on the football field.
Who's that?
Now, he's not accurate. But damn, he has got a cannon for an arm. Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
6'8", and he could see the field. If somebody would have worked with this kid as he was growing up to become a damn quarterback, holy crap, what kind of quarterback he might have made.
Arizona has a good team. It's just, again, they play in a brutal division. And look, Sam Darnold played well. And then, like I said, that 1-2 punch of Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet, I think they're the second best punch over there. And then the emergence of Jackson Smith-Njigba, now that DK Metcalf is gone, he has emerged as the number one option over there. They're actually playing pretty good ball. It's just, can they make it out of that NFC West? So congratulations to them on a victory over there. That was a very entertaining game last night too. So,
9:30 game in.
Did you pick you picked Seattle, right? We both picked Seattle. We both picked Seattle. So they start the international game. By the way, if you're in the Alphabet Football Show Pick'ems League and you're a late sleeper, do your pick before. I think the game on the East Coast starts at like
9:30 a.m.
9:30, like two hours before the regular game. So make sure that you're getting up. Look, who started for them last week? It was Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, and have you not heard what TJ Watt had to say to Carson Wentz?
What's that?
We know exactly who you are. We know exactly what you do. We know exactly how to play against you.
This is technically a home game for Pittsburgh. Of course, they're not playing at Acrisure Stadium, but I think Rooney was a ambassador to Ireland.
Yep.
So this is kind of like a homecoming home game for the Steelers.
There's going to be a lot of black and gold in the stadium there, so it's going to be like a home game.
So
I think the Minnesota Vikings are one of the best in their division. I really do. I like what they're doing, but I'm not. Carson Wentz is going to be their starter, and everybody who plays against Carson Wentz knows if you put pressure on him, he messes it up.
Okay.
But you got to be able to get pressure on him. Well, J.J. McCarthy's out for a reason because he ain't got no offensive line to give you no protection. And you're putting an old man Carson's out there against Pittsburgh Steelers defense who, with some changes on that defense and bringing in Jabril Peppers, Deshaun Elliott may play this weekend. They don't know for sure. They haven't said. I have to give the advantage to my defense against him. That's the only reason I'm taking Pittsburgh. Otherwise, if we were playing in Minnesota, I probably would have took Minnesota for the win. But I just had this feeling like I had last week. I think we're going to pull this win out because it's going to be like a home game. You're going to see black and gold and terrible towels flying. And I think it's going to be loud because we know the Irish, they like to drink. And they're playing in Dublin. And I think you're going to see a lot of drunken Steeler fans out there yelling and screaming. It's going to be loud.
Drinking a bunch of
He's going to be running for his life. And I just think I would feel better if Alex Highsmith was playing. I would feel better if I'll feel better if Deshaun Elliott's able to play, but I don't know if he's going to play. But I like Derek Harmon. I like what he showed last week. I don't know if Porter's playing this weekend. I wish Porter was playing. I worry about Justin Jefferson getting loose on us.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about on the Vikings offense. But he's got to have, the quarterback's got to have time to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. And I think you're going to see a lot of blitzing from Pittsburgh this year, or this game. So I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm going to say 24-18.
I'm also taking Pittsburgh. I don't trust Carson Wentz. And look, here's the one thing I think that people might be missing. Aaron Rodgers used to own the Vikings.
Yep.
And he's used to playing against, that. I know he hasn't played there for a minute, but he knows that NFC North. And I think he's gonna do his thing. I think it's gonna be a close game though, because they do have firepower. The Vikings do have firepower. You got Hawkinson. You got Jordan Addison comes back this week. He served it. This is what, week 4? He got 3 games. So Addison.
And all I will say is this: Carson Wentz has to have time to throw the ball.
Gotcha. I'm with you. I'm taking Pittsburgh 27-24. Washington, the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels supposed to come back this week. Yeah.
I don't know that that's a good thing. I don't
trust the Falcons. I don't trust the Falcons.
I don't either. I'm taking the Commanders. Even though it's in Atlanta, I'm taking the Commanders.
All
right. My score. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But if you can't score against Carolina Panthers, Dan
Quinn has got to be licking his chops. He's got to be licking. And here's another thing, Mona. Do you know who the head coach of the Falcons were on that 28-3 Super Bowl loss? Was that a Falcons coach?
Yeah, he's with Washington.
Dan Quinn, their head coach. So I'm sure he would just love, and they fired him, by the way. I'm sure he would love to stick it to the Falcons really good. What you got?
28-15.
15?
Yep, I'm giving them 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Okay. I'm also going Washington. I think he wants to get back on this. Now, depending on if Jaden Daniels plays, I don't know if I want to see Marcus Mariota a second week, but depending on if Jaden Daniels plays, which he just might, I may end up changing my mind, but I still think Marcus Mariota can beat them. I'm going to say 21-17 Commanders. Look, this is going to be my survivor. This is going to be my survivor pick.
I'm taking the Bills. I think to me, they should have that mercy rule. Because I think they're just going to run over top of Saints. I think it's going to be ugly as
Daniels
hell.
is out.
I can see.
Ooh. Scary Terry's out as well for one. I don't care. Debo, I think Debo go cover down.
I'm gonna say 48-3. I'll give them 3 points.
Yeah, I think the Bills. I think this is the game here where Josh Allen puts up a whole bunch of numbers early in the game, and I think he may sit out the fourth quarter. I can see. Depending on how bad it is, I can see him out by the middle of the third quarter. I'm going to say 42 to I'm being generous. I don't think they'll score. I'll say 42 to 10. I don't think they'll score that many points, but we'll see.
I think they'll be lucky to get it on the side.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to light them up. I think it's gonna look start all, start all of your Bills players in fantasy football. Okay, there's some more free fantasy advice. And if you got them, if you haven't used them in your survivor pick, like me, use them for your survivor pick. That's what I'm picking for my survivor pick this week. Chargers and Giants.
I'm taking the Chargers. 28-10.
So we're starting the Jackson Dart era, and I just think Jam they're going to send this poor kid. Look, what a way to get your first start for an undefeated Chargers team that's really hot right now. Now Herbert's going to have to get rid of the ball, because the one thing with the Giants, whatever you may think of them, that damn defense will get after you. But I think he has a good game. I'm going to say 28 to. I'm going to go with the same score as you, Mona. 28-10. I'm going to give him. I'll say 28-14. 2 touchdowns. I think Jackson Dart, he may get some garbage time points. Tennessee at Houston.
Last time I'm taking the damn Texans. Last time. If they don't win, I will not take them rest of the year. I'll take them rest. I'm going to pretend this is the damn New Orleans Saints. I'm going to take the Texans. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say 18-10.
18-10. I'm also, yeah. I'm with you, Mona. I'm about tired of the Texans. They're pissing me off, and they're costing me on my picks. They're costing me in fantasy too, because I drafted CJ Stroud. I'm like, oh, CJ Stroud will be good this year. He's ruining my fantasy, really. Like, I'm really getting tired of them.
Maybe you should go on the waiver wire and find you a quarterback.
Huh?
Go on the waiver wire and find you a quarterback.
There ain't nobody there. There ain't no, trust me. I'm getting tired of CJ Stroud's ass. I really am. I'm gonna say 17 to 10 Texas. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Brownies at Lions, Bona.
I don't even think it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, that's what everybody said last week. They
Don't
said
get me wrong. Listen, don't get me wrong, but I think that, and you're right, but I think the Packers were not even focused on that damn game. I think they were looking at playing Dallas this coming weekend, and I think that was your issue. That was your problem. And we've seen it happen in the past. Teams look over at one team because of this next game they're playing, and I've seen my team do that. So, but I am going to take the Lions. I am going to say 31. Because I think they're actually going to score some defensive points too. 31-12.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lions too, but I think that the Brownies will put up a fight. That the Brownies defense is legit, and I'll tell you something else too. That kid Quinshon Judkins,
yeah,
he runs nasty. He's the best, but he's their new Nick Chubb. Yeah, he played Ohio State, used to playing in the elements.
Dalton said Jim Schwartz, who's Brown's defensive coordinator, used to be the Lions head coach.
Yeah. I'm going to say 24-14. I'll give them 2 touchdowns. Panthers at Patriots, Mona.
Oh, God.
They shut out the Falcons. The Falcons shut out. I mean the
Panthers shut out the Falcons.
Shut out the Falcons last week.
I don't think they'll shut out Drake May, but the Panthers D is pretty damn good. Their defense is pretty good, and Chuba Hubbard.
And Ted McMillan, their first round pick, wide receiver. He's having a good season too.
I think it's still going to be a close game. But I'm going to give it to the Patriots because they're in New England.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the Patriots. But come on, Bryce Young. I'll take this loss. Big to shout the Patriots. But I'm taking the Patriots. I'm going to say 24-21.
I'm gonna give the Panthers. Y'all impressed me last week. Don't disappoint me, because if you mess this up, I'll never pick you again. I'm gonna go Panthers 17-14 Panthers. I don't think it's gonna be a low scoring game. This is probably the game of the week right here. Eagles, Bucks. That's gonna be a hell of a game. That's gonna be another fist fight. 2 undefeated, 2 3-0s, right? They're both 3-0s.
I'm going to take the Eagles, but I think it's a hard-fought game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a lot like the Rams, although I think the Rams defense is better than the Bucks defense. Baker Mayfield is questionable, and if he doesn't play, the score could get really bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Eagles. I'm going to say Eagles 28, Bucks 21.
I'm also going. I think it's going to be a tight game, back and forth. Now, again, depending on my score may change depending on if Baker plays. 28-25 Eagles. Look, they're the champs until somebody shows me differently. I thought the Rams had them dead to rights last week, and they let them off the hook.
Just wow.
Yeah, they let them off the hook. Another really good game. Look, Colts at Rams. I think this is going to be another good one here. Daniel Jones, keep it up.
I love what the Colts are doing. I like what Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, is doing with the Colts, but I just don't think they have what they need to be able to stop the Rams. I think defensively, Rams have got that edge, and I think offensively, the veteran leadership from Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. Look, I love Puka. I just think he's freaking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love JT, but I think the Rams defense can stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And if they limit JT, then it's all on Indiana Jones's back. He has to prove to me that he's the quarterback who can hit his receivers. And I just think that the Rams defense has enough to stop them. I'm taking the Rams. It's in LA too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Rams getting beat last week, as well as they played in the first half of that game.
They're going to be mad.
They're going to be mad as hell. So I'm taking the Rams. I'm going to say I'm going to say 28. 17.
Let me see here. 31-3 Washington. Yeah, if who doesn't miss a field goal? I know my team sucks, but if Texans go 0-4, I don't know what to say. Jim Schwartz was Browns DC. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams too, but I think that the Colts are going to give them a fight. But I just think that when a team loses like that, I think it pisses them off. They're a little bit more focused. 30-28 Rams. Jags at 49ers. Brock Purdy back. Mona?
Jags have kind of surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Is McCaffrey playing?
Oh yeah, he's good. He's good.
But no Bosa.
No Bosa.
But I do
no Bosa, no Kittle.
I do like that receiver they have.
Ricky Pearsall.
I like him.
Juwan Jennings is supposed to play in this game too. I don't think he played last week. Juwan Jennings.
I'm not sold on Jacksonville, but can San Francisco stop the run?
Etienne's having a great year. We just sold him. He's the top 5 in rushing right now.
No, I'm not sold on Trevor.
That's
I'm
right.
going to take the 49ers. I think they stay undefeated.
Okay.
Score. I'm going to say 49ers are not scoring high points, though. 49ers, I'm taking 21-18.
I'm also going for 49ers 21-10. This is another one here. Look, we just talked about this a little bit earlier. Don't like to say must win, must win game, but whoever moves this game is 1-3, and that is a hell of a hole that they got of Baltimore at KC. Mona.
I'm taking the Chiefs because they're at home. And I think defensively, and look, I don't know what answer do they have for Thorne. What's his name, Thornhill or whatever?
Tyquan Thornton.
Thornton.
Yeah.
I like Thornton. I like that kid. And when they get Rice back,
Worthy's back this week. He's gonna wear a shoulder harness.
Yeah, one hard hit and he's out.
Yeah. Yes.
One hard hit, and you better
even without the harness, even with the harness. Yeah.
Because you better believe that Baltimore defense knows.
Yeah.
Got to hit him where it hurts.
Try to light him up.
Yep, they will. But I'm going to take the Chiefs because I still believe in the Chiefs. And I just can't see them going 1-3. And I do feel that Baltimore's defense is kind of suspect. They had to get in there and play against the Chiefs like they did against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And Derrick Henry cannot fumble the football in this game.
If he fumbles again, I'm going to lose it. I'm playing Ace's girlfriend this week in fantasy, and I got Derrick Henry, and she's got Patrick Mahomes. So this game is very critical.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to say 24-21.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same score. I trust Andy Reid. To me, now this comes down to Andy Reid versus John Harbaugh. I trust Andy Reid. That's what it really boils down to. Bears at Raiders.
So you're taking Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking Chiefs 24-21.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. Whew. What Caleb do we see?
Yeah.
But I still think Cowboys could beat the Raiders, so I'm gonna go with the Bears. Although they're playing in Vegas.
I don't trust Geno. I don't trust Geno.
I don't really either. Although he's third in passing yards.
Yeah, I don't trust him. He's a lot of garbage time yards.
I'm taking the Bears, and if they freaking lose, I ain't taking the rest of the year. How's that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bears. I'm gonna say, see here, what score do I want to give them? I think the Bears are on the right side, progressing wise.
Ben Johnson's putting them together. I still think they're probably a draft away. Probably a draft away.
I'm gonna say, and I'm just not sold on Geno, although he may play lights out and do well. But I'm gonna go 28-17. Bears.
I'm also going Bears. I'll say 24-21. 24-14. Green Bay at Dallas, Mona.
Y'all have no pass rush.
None.
I think
Now Clowney is playing this week. Clowney.
Clowney is not the Clowney that we all know.
Yeah.
We know that. He's going to help. He will definitely help. But
he did no training camp. You know, he's probably going to be on a pitch count. I say probably maybe 25 snaps, situational pass rusher, 3rd and 8, you know, get in there, you know, if they're ever in 3rd and 8. They may never be in 3rd. They may score every time down the field.
I'm going to say 28. Let's see. 28, 21 Packers.
And see, I think it's going to be worse.
Oh, I do too. But
35 to, I'll say 24 because I do believe, you know, you're going to get some Brandon Aubrey long field goals. I think Dak, you know, in garbage time when they just back everybody off and they're not really rushing them. I think it'll look. The score will be closer than what the game really was in actuality. 35-24. Jets at Dolphins, Mona.
Do we know is Fields when Fields coming back?
Who?
Justin Fields. When's he coming back?
He's supposed to be. He should be back this week. He had a concussion. He's supposed to be. He cleared concussion protocol.
The way the Dolphins played against the Bills, if that same team shows up, then I'm going to say Dolphins, and it's in Miami. I'm going to say, look here. Let's see. Although, man, the Patriots kicked the shit out of them. Granted, that division. But Jets are in their division too.
This is the Monday night game.
So bad. Tua looks so bad.
Yeah. He just. I think it's the end for him, and I think Mike McDaniels. He didn't do a bad job last week. It's just, you know, you're 0-3. I got to do something to stop the bleeding.
I don't put that loss on him against the Bills. I just don't.
Yeah, but he's going to get the blame.
Where's this game at? It's in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields. I don't know if they can stop Breece Hall and Justin Fields. I wish they had a better receiver on the other side of Wilson.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on Miami's defense either.
Yeah,
their pass rush is not what I would.
I thought Bradley Chubb would pick it up, Jalen Phillips, and they haven't done anything.
Would not shock me that the Jets win this game. I'm going to take the Dolphins because it's in Miami. I'm going to say Dolphins. Because they still got some damn good weapons. Jets D is not crappy or anything, but they're not great either. But I'm going to say 24-18 Dolphins.
I'm taking the
Last
Jets.
time I take the damn Dolphins this year, too.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets.
I'm done.
I think that defense is going to get after them. The Jets, they actually played the Bills pretty good, you know, put some heat. I don't think Josh Allen had that great of a game. He had like 148 yards passing, no touchdowns. If they can do that to Josh Allen, what they're going to do to Tua is going to be nasty. I think it'll be a low-scoring game, 20-10 Jets. Justin Fields runs wild in this game. And finally,
injury, I don't think he runs wild. So.
No. I think he's the third. I think he's the third best running quarterback in the league when healthy.
He came back from a leg injury, right?
Concussion.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, Monday night, Bengals
I'm thinking Denver.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Broncos. 24.
Yeah, I think the Broncos defense is going to be all over Browning. I think he's going to be running for his life, and then I think you see PS2 on Chase, and they just get after Browning. I think it gets ugly. 24-10. And you could see possibly a pick six or something like that, defensive touchdown, fumble recovery, sack, strip sack. I think you could see something like that. So that's all the games. Here's the top 10. I know it says 6 there, but these are the top 10 for picks here. Eddie Vigil jumped over Autumn. Autumn was winning it last week. Eddie Vigil 38-11. Gary Dodd, defending champ, 37-11. Autumn, she drops down from first to third, 37-11. Well, actually second.
Tied for second. Yeah, they're tied
for second. Alicia Creamer, 36-13. She's missing some picks, right? You're missing some picks there. Gary Tollett, 36-13. Brent Davis, 35-14. Michelle Romero, 35-13. Angela Miraz, 35-14. Jessica Askew, 35-14, and Ace, 35-4. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 ladies in the top 10. I love it.
I think I'm just out of that top 10.
You just missed the cut, Mona. You just missed the cut there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was some really crazy green games.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody took the Browns to beat Green Bay. So
and nobody except for Dwayne took the Panthers.
That was just, and I think a lot of people took the Cowboys to beat the Bears too. A lot of people took the Cowboys to beat the Bears.
I did.
Yeah, so it was just one of those type of weeks. So keep doing your picks. Early game this week. They're starting international games. Make sure that you get your early morning pick, because once that game starts, I can't do nothing for you, man. I can't do nothing for you. And then my Alpha Chicks, my all-female fantasy football league here. Look, Lily's in first place. Angie's in second place. Autumn's is just doing big things. She's in third place at 2-1. Kristen Moon at fourth place at 2-1. Consuelo Romero 2-1, and then Quintora Waters Q. I see you, girl. If this playoff started today, y'all would be the 6 in the playoffs fighting for that Nike jersey. So keep it going, ladies. I see y'all. I pop my head up in there and check y'all out a little bit. So congratulations to all y'all ladies there. Love it. Love to see stuff like that. Mona, last words before we get out of here. We are running a little bit late, but it's all good.
You just want to say thanks for everybody showing. We were a little bit late starting too, so say thank you all for showing up and continuing showing us support. We appreciate it. Kind of missed seeing Dalton at the beginning of the show, but it's good to see everybody. Dwayne, always here. Melissa, we miss you.
Man, she's at work. She works nights. She always comes back and puts comments and stuff. Yeah, she's at work right now. So
anyway, thank you all, and we'll see you same time next week.
For sure. Appreciate everybody. Make sure that you, like I said, get your picks in. If you're interested, make sure that you make your arrangements for the Alphabets Football Show Rise Up Family Meet and Greet, April 23rd to the 25th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Make sure I would love to see everybody there. I'll be there. Mona will be there. We already got our rooms, folks. Yep. You better get yours. Because I'm telling you, these rooms, they're out. And the closer it gets to the date, it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be nearly impossible. You might be able to get into town, but there won't be nowhere to stay. You're going to be like Jesus on Christmas. You're going to be staying in a manger somewhere. So make sure that you find somewhere to stay. Make sure that you everybody who checks out Coffee Talk Monday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Right here in the group. I chop it up a little football, a little bit of life. World Class Wednesdays. Make sure y'all tune in. The time changes on that. Myself and Andre Torres Robinson. Rise Up Unlimited Radio Show, The Chocolate Girl, and Andre Torres Robinson. And then we'll be back next week. Same bet time, same bet channel. Chopping it up here, man. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the college football. And make sure you do your picks. Early game, okay? Appreciate everybody. See ya.
Yeah, what can I do for you, Rod? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Yeah. I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown the sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. I've been on the come up, counting money till my thumbs hurt. No Birdman, bitch, but I'm a stunner. Just watch how you run up. I keep a couple gunners. I've been grinding all winter just to flex all over summer shit. Wrist cold when I fall through. Rose gold to my arm, boo. In and out of my city, but come whenever I call you. Who gon' love me more than when I'm stacking out on tour? Them hoes that made it past security, they knocking on my door. You gon' be there when they gone. Show my love by getting more. Hustle so you ain't alone. You won't leave me, that's for sure. I'm talking Benjis, Franklin's, all these hundos on my floor. I just broke a couple bands, believe me, I've been going hard. I'm tipping bottle after bottle, swerving model after model. Who won't cash? That's the motto. Spend it like I hit the lotto. Yeah, I'm loving my life. I know that I ain't shit without you. Actions speak louder than words they broke, cause they just talk about you, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown the sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put them ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. Money bag after money bag, I'm the man now. Play the cards that I was dealt and I ain't need no handouts. Fresh on every set, give respect, mama out of debt. Got a new connect, we the best, homie run the check. Wifey got a new bag, new house, you mad? We just doing us, feeling wavy, fuck a do-rag. This that no stress flow, bobbing on my ex. She don't love cash, kiss my ass, baby XO. Thank you for that line, Mr. West, but I'm next though. Hey, you me to said, bitch, I'm blessed, sipping XO. For the love of money, I stay fucking hungry. I parted ways with the kitchen, that just wasn't for me. Every show they love me, now I'm showing love back. They ain't taking nothing from me, so I throw a couple stacks. You when I'm in your town, have some fun, blow a bag. Fuck with me when I'm around, trust me, shorty, I'll be back. I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown the sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put them ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy.